Hello, Kaycee and Josephine, and anyone else that might see this video. We'll need a rolled up blanket and 2 small to medium pillows as props if you want to pause the video and grab those, and then we'll get started. Alright, so a prenatal yoga practice is really important, even for those who don't practice yoga outside of pregnancy. For a ton of reasons, but 2 of those major reasons are the breath and also body awareness. So in yoga we can, focus on certain muscles and certain exercises to really utilize and become familiar with the muscles and the parts of the body that come into play during labor and birth. And then secondly, the breath. The breath is important in everyday life, but as you know, in labor and in birth, the ability to stay centered on the breath and focused on the breath despite other extreme sensations in the body and pain is so important. So yoga is going to help us to kind of fine-tune that ability to just stay centered on the breath despite the sensation in the body. So those are kind of the 2 main reasons that I think prenatal yoga is super important. And I read this book, Birth and Awareness, by a friend of mine who is a prenatal yoga teacher and also a doula. She calls it a handbook to prenatal yoga. So it has tons of information on kind of the background and the explanations, and then also, the technical, the poses, and the different benefits of yoga during pregnancy. So I've used her research and suggestions to put this together. So let's get started. We're going to start in this pose called Vajrasana. So we're simply sitting back on the heels. We are going to be here for a minute. So if you want to take some pressure off the feet, you can just take a blanket right in between the legs here and just take a little bit of the weight off the heels there. So the reason we're going to sit in this pose as opposed to cross-legged for a few breathing exercises is this pose is super helpful for digestion if you're having any issues there. We're basically cutting off the blood flow to the lower half of the body, so the blood is just being forced into the abdomen and the pelvic region to kind of help get things moving there. So hanging out in this pose for just a few minutes a day is going to help with digestion. So we're going to hang out here as we move through a couple breathing exercises. If you want to gently close the eyes, we'll rest the hands on the thighs, either face up or face down. And just start to become aware of the breath. Breathing in a normal, natural pace. Feeling the body fill and expand on each inhale. Feeling the lungs empty and the body contract on each exhale. Feel the air coming in through the nostrils, filling up the body. And then feeling the body contract as we release all of that old stale air. Just take a few more breaths here, slowing down, and just focusing all of our attention on those natural inhales and exhales. In and out through the nose. And just continue this natural breath, and I'm going to talk us through our next exercise, and then we'll get started together. So this next breath is a 3-part yogic breath or a diaphragmatic breathing exercise. So we're going to really break down these inhales and exhales even further to allow us to really focus on the breath. So on the inhale, we're going to fill up the belly, filling the bottom of the lungs. The belly's going to blow up like a balloon, and if it's already a little bigger, then even bigger than it might already be. And then as we continue to pull new air in, the ribs will expand, filling the middle of the lungs. And in this last part of our inhale, the chest is going to rise as we fill the top of our lungs with fresh air. And then we'll exhale, the chest will fall, the ribs will contract, and finally the navel pulls back towards the spine. It's like a 3-part wave breath. So we're gonna fill from the bottom to the top, and then we're gonna exhale from the top to the bottom. So we'll move through it together. So on the next inhale, we'll fill the belly, the ribs will expand, the chest will rise, and we'll exhale, the chest falls, ribs contract, and navel pulls back towards the spine. Inhale, fill the belly up, drawing air all the way into the bottom of the lungs. The ribs expand, the chest rises, and we exhale, the chest falls, ribs contract, navel pulls back towards the spine. And let's move through a few more breaths on our own here. Really slowing down the breath and focusing on each part of each inhale and each part of each exhale. Last one, inhale, belly, ribs, chest, and exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Nice job. Let's slowly blink open the eyes, and we are gonna roll onto all fours to get started in tabletop pose. You can set this to the side for now. We'll meet in a nice aligned tabletop pose. So we've got the wrists stacked under the elbows, under the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. And the body is engaged here, so we're not just releasing that low back, we're supporting the body, keeping it nice and level. And we're gonna move through some cat-cows. So on the next inhale, let's release the low back, pull the shoulder blades together, gaze rises up. And let's exhale, pulling the navel up towards the spine, rounding the back, dropping the head. And inhale, releasing the low back, shoulder blades pull together, gaze rises up. And exhale, rounding the back. Inhale, belly drops, maybe tuck the toes. And exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, maybe tuck the toes, drop the belly. And exhale, navel all the way up towards the spine. Last one, inhale, release that low back, pull the shoulder blades together. And exhale, rounding through the spine. And we'll meet back at neutral here. I'm going to turn just so you can see this exercise a bit better. Okay, so I'm going to just show us first so you can see on the video, and then we'll walk through it together. So we're going to inhale, first raising this right leg straight out and back, pushing out through the heel. Then we're going to inhale, left fingertips forward. We're going to exhale, left fingertips to the left, right foot to the right. Then we're going to drop down, inhale, rise up, gate pose. So we'll move through that together now that you have a visual. So let's check our alignment, get nice and steady. And we'll inhale, pushing that right foot out towards the back of the mat, flexing the foot, sending energy out through the heel, making sure the hips are square and level with the ground. And just feel your strength here, feel steady and strong. One more inhale, exhale, and then let's inhale, reach those left fingertips forward, reaching out through the fingertips, out through the heel. One nice long line of energy. And we'll exhale, left hand to the left, right foot to the right. Drop that right foot, inhale and rise all the way up, gate pose. Let's take one breath together here, relaxing the shoulders, tucking the low ribs in. Inhale, reach the fingertips up. And exhale, bringing those right fingertips down the right leg and reaching the left fingertips over towards the right. Feel a nice opening all through the left side body. Maintain good energy in those left fingertips, really reaching over towards the right and creating as much space as we can throughout the ribs and the side body. We inhale and reach, and exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. One more inhale, exhale, and inhale, we rise back up. Exhale, plant the palms in front of you. Bring the right knee back to meet the left, and we'll move on to the next side. So let's inhale, reaching that left foot back, out through the heel, flexing the foot, toes are pointed down towards the mat, hips are square, and we just feel nice and steady and strong in this pose. And on the next inhale, we'll shoot these right fingertips forward, reaching out through the fingertips, sending energy out through the back heel. And we'll exhale, right hand to the right, left foot to the left. Drop that left foot. Inhale, fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, relax the shoulders. Left foot parallel to the, I guess you'd be the long edge of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale, reach those fingertips, maybe gaze comes up, and we'll exhale, left fingertips over to the left leg, not putting too much pressure on this knee, and reaching over to the left with the right fingertips. Gate pose. Focus on keeping the chest nice and open here. Don't round over. Keep the heart space open towards the front of the mat. And create space in the side body with every inhale. And sink in on every exhale. Eventually finding your edge and breathing there. Staying focused on those nice, steady inhales and exhales in and out through the nose. One more inhale. Exhale, and we'll inhale back to center, fingertips rise up. Exhale, plant the palms. Bring the left knee back to meet the right. Meet you guys back on the mat. And from here, we're just going to come into a brief down dog. So let's tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, coming into a down dog. Just spend a couple breaths here, working the heels down towards the mat, the sit bones up towards the sky, and letting that opposing energy open up the back of the legs. One more inhale, exhale, and on the next inhale, we're just going to take teeny tiny little baby steps all the way up to the front of the mat. We're going to take one breath here in forward fold. Exhale. And on the next inhale, we're going to bring a nice bend into the knees. And we're just going to slowly curl all the way up to stand. One vertebra at a time. Rolling the shoulders back. And meeting in mountain pose. Feet are underneath the hip joints. Palms are face forward. Energy in the fingertips. Gently close the eyes here for one breath. Maybe lift the toes. And gently blink the eyes open. And we're gonna move through some squats. So we'll come to a comfortable wide-legged stance. Whatever width is comfortable for you. We're gonna do some goddess squats. So the feet positioning here is we're working as close to parallel with the long edge of the mat as we can. So if that's 45 degrees, that's perfect. A little more, a little less. Whatever's most comfortable for you. And we're gonna bring the hands to the hips. And we're just gonna slowly shift the hips back, bend through the knees, and make sure we track the knees over the ankles. And we'll meet in goddess pose. Nice. Let's bring the hands to heart center. And just feel strong and steady here. We're engaging in the legs, engaging through the core. And keeping the body steady. Rooting down through all four corners of each foot. Maybe lifting the toes. Releasing them back down. Nice. One more inhale. Exhale. And let's inhale. We're going to straighten the legs. Open the arms, rise up. And we're going to exhale, squat back down, tracking the knees over the ankles. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, squat down, knees over ankles. Inhale, rise up, last one. And exhale, sink down nice and low. Take one inhale, one exhale. And on the next inhale, let's bring the right heel off the mat, coming onto the right toes, and exhale, release. Inhale, left heel rises. Exhale, release. Inhale, right. Exhale, release. Inhale, left. Exhale, release. One more each side. Inhale, right. Exhale, release. Inhale, left. Exhale, release. And now let's do both. Inhale, both heels rise. Stay here for one breath. And release. Bring this leg straight, arms rise up. And hands back to heart center. Stepping back to the front of the mat. Nice job. So we're here in mountain pose. The ankles are lined up directly under the hip joints. Palms are face forward. Energy in the fingertips. Inhale. And exhale. Let's gently bring the eyes open. And we're going to move into a nice warrior sequence to get into those legs a little bit more. So let's inhale, fingertips rise up. And we're going to exhale, swinging the arms open, reaching that left foot back, and meeting in warrior two. So the right ankle is lined up with the left arch. Arms are parallel, and our gaze is just over the right fingertips. Now we don't want to let the hips square off here. We're working towards nice open hips in this pose, so think about externally rotating the thighs. Just relax the shoulders, tuck those low ribs in. Inhale, exhale. And on the next inhale, let's straighten that front leg, fingertips gaze rise up. And let's exhale, sink back in, warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink in, watching that front knee. Last one, inhale, rise up. And exhale, sink in. Flip that front palm, inhaling, reaching forward. And exhaling, letting the left fingertips run down the back leg. Right fingertips reach back into exalted warrior. Feeling a beautiful opening in the right side body. Not putting too much pressure on the knee here. Using the core to keep our body buoyant. Maintaining a nice bend in that front knee. One more inhale to reach. And exhale. We come through warrior two. Bring the right forearm, right knee, and reach those left fingertips all the way forward, overhead. Left biceps over the left ear. And again, trying not to lean into this thigh, but really activating the core and the legs. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. And we'll inhale, rise back up into warrior two. And we're gonna just swing this left hand down, left foot back to meet the right, fingertips gaze rise up, and exhale. We meet back again in mountain pose. We'll move right on to the next side. So we're gonna inhale, fingertips rise up. Exhale, swing the right fingertips, right foot all the way back, and we meet in warrior two on the other side. Same alignment here. Front heel, back arch of the foot are in line. Arms are parallel. Right or left knee over left ankle. Inhale. Exhale. And on the next inhale, we'll straighten the front leg, fingertips gaze rise up. And exhale, sink in warrior two. Watching that front knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. Last one, inhale, rise up. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flipping the front palm, reaching forward. We exhale, right fingertips down the right leg, left fingertips shoot overhead into exalted warrior. Staying focused on the breath. Last inhale, exhale. One more inhale, and we exhale through warrior two. Left forearm comes to the left thigh. Right fingertips reach overhead, and we meet in extended side angle. Staying focused on the breath, using the core strength, using the strength in the legs. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. And this next inhale will draw us up, back warrior two. We're going to sweep those right fingertips down, right foot up to meet the left. Gaze rises up. Exhale, arms by the side, mountain pose. We're going to come all the way to the ground now, so let's inhale the hands straight out in front of the shoulders. And only if you feel steady and balanced here, that's the most important. We'll come up onto the toe tips. And we're going to, on the count of 5, just slowly bring a nice bend into the knees, lowering all the way down to the ground. 3, 2, 1. Nice. You can just get a comfortable seat on your mat and face forward so you can see. And we're just going to work through opening the hips and the low back before coming to final Shavasana. So this first pose is actually called Cradle the Baby. So we're going to bring the right shin up towards the body, grabbing the outside of the right foot with the left hand, outside of the right knee with the right hand. And this is basically the first version of the pose. So we're just working to open up this hip joint. You can use movement, stillness, breath, use it all, and just try to really open up that hip and find what feels good for your body. Now if your hips are open and this is accessible, we're going to take the outside of the right foot, tuck it into that left elbow, right knee, right elbow, Interlace the fingers, and then we can rock our little shin baby. Just really using your own strength here to work through any stickiness or tightness in that hip joint. They say we hold all of our emotions in our hips. So it's often a really tight and kind of sticky joint. So we're just going to use this pose to release some of that tension. On every inhale, sending that air, that energy down to the hip joint, creating more space. Nice long spine, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Let's take one more inhale. And exhale, we'll release this leg. Move on to the left. Bring in the left knee, left hand, outside of the left foot, right hand. And every side's different, so maybe you're tighter on this side, more open, whatever it is, just find what feels good on this side. And then focus on the breath to create a little bit more space, release some of that tension, some of that stickiness. One more inhale, exhale, and release. All right, we're going to come all the way down to the mat, so let's plant the soles of the feet, extend the arms out, palms face up, and we're going to exhale, slowly roll down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And right away we're going to inhale the feet up off the ground, and we're going to draw these knees up towards the shoulders, almost as if you could tuck them into your armpits. And we're going to use a little bit of leverage in the arms, so reach either up to the shins or the outsides of the feet, always working the sacrum back down towards the mat. I'm not quite so flexible in my hips, so I find it's better to grab onto my shins. Plant that sacrum down onto the mat, and just use the strength in the arms to work the elbows in towards the shoulders. You're going to feel a beautiful release in the hips, a really nice release in the lower back. Maybe rock side to side a little, give that low back a little massage, the kidneys a little massage. You roll the ankles one way and then the other. And just do what feels good here, letting the low back release, continuing that opening in the hips. One more inhale, exhale, and then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, lowering the legs down into reclined butterfly. Place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, just for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Fold the knees together like a book, and then we'll grab those 2 pillows as we come into final Shavasana. Gonna lay on our side to give that low back a little rest. So one pillow for your head. And then we'll use one pillow. Traditionally they say the left side, but whatever's more comfortable. One pillow to create a little space between the knees. One pillow to support the head. And just find how you can feel comfortable here. Take as long as it takes to get comfortable, and find a position where you're going to be able to lie in stillness for at least 2 to 3 minutes. So take the time, get comfortable, make sure there's no pressure on the shoulder, no pressure on the knees, the back. Get comfortable, close the eyes. And let the natural rhythm of the breath take over. No longer watching those inhales and exhales. letting air pass through the lungs at a natural rhythm, releasing through the toes and the feet, relaxing the shins, the calves, relaxing the hamstrings, the quads, and then relaxing the core, letting the obliques relax, the back relax, relaxing the shoulders, the upper back, the chest, relaxing the arms, the wrists, the hands, the fingers. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. And relaxing through the face, the eyes, the forehead, the space between the brows. And just enjoy this moment of stillness with your baby, getting in tune with your breath and your heartbeat. I encourage you to stay in this pose as long as you can. But if it's time to move on, then we'll slowly start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, gently blinking the eyes open. And when you're ready, removing the pillows, we're going to come up to meet and seated in a nice seated butterfly pose. We started with Vajrasana in the beginning, an excellent pose to hang out and sit in. And this butterfly pose is also super helpful. It's amazing for the posture, especially as I know right now we're all hunching at our desks or our computers, our couches. So hang out in this pose when you're watching TV or have a break. Really use the hands. Get that nice straight spine, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Let's inhale together. Exhale. We'll inhale, bring the palms to heart center. Thanks so much for doing this video. I hope it helps. I hope it makes you feel amazing. And I'm happy to make more. I love you. Namaste.